Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will serve you the tea. You know what time it is? Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Hennessy, come out and play.
Diddy say, I smoke, I drank, I'm supposed to stop, but I can't. Diddy finally got transferred to the prison facility that he wanted, Fort Dix, that's D-I-X, not too long after Judge Subramanian initially denied his request for that transfer. Now, you remember during Diddy's sentencing, he got a chance to stand up and he told the judge,
Drugs and alcohol have ruined my life.
He told the judge that this was his first time being clean in 25 years. He was a changed man, and if the judge would let him back out in the streets, that he would not disappoint him.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
The music mogul was caught with homemade alcohol at Fort Dix prison weeks after telling a judge he was sober for the first time in 25 years. We are going to get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So your boy Sean P. Diddy Combs was caught drinking homemade alcohol at Fort Dix prison this week, breaking the sobriety commitment he made to a judge just weeks ago before receiving his sentence. This incident landed him in trouble with prison officials who initially planned disciplinary action before reversing their decision. Sources with knowledge of the situation confirmed that Diddy possessed homemade alcohol inside the low-security New Jersey facility where he's currently serving time. The contraband beverage was created using a common prison recipe, including Fanta, sugar, and apples that inmates allow to ferment for approximately 2 weeks until it becomes alcoholic. Diddy has been there a total of 9 days, so something tells me they was planning this concoction just for him to set that ass up.
Remember?
You've been planning this all day?
I've been planning it all week, son.
So here's the thing. Diddy wanted to go to Fort Dix because it's one of the more comfortable and safer federal prisons you can end up in. It's low security, it's in New Jersey, which means it's not filled with violent offenders, and he has more of a relaxed setup compared to tougher prisons. It's also close to New York, which is close to his family, and the lawyers could visit him easily. Plus, Fort Dix offers programs like RDAP, which can actually help inmates cut time off their sentence if they qualify. On top of that, the prison has business and vocational programs, and for someone like Diddy, that's a way to show rehabilitation and stay productive. So really, Fort Dix checked every box. It's a safer environment, closer to home, and a better shot at shaving time off his sentence. However, Diddy got there, and in less than a week,
I had a ball.
So prison officials discovered the alcohol and initially planned moving Diddy from his current unit to a new one as punishment for the violation. However, two sources confirmed that prison officials have now reversed the decision, allowing the music mogul to remain in his original housing unit. Now, this incident marks a significant departure from the sobriety narrative Diddy presented to the court prior to his sentencing last month. He emphasized to the judge that he had been sober for the first time in 25 years, acknowledging that substances has caused him to lose his way. Now, in Diddy's letter to the judge, he wrote that the old version of himself had died in jail, while a new version was reborn, adding that prison either changes a person or destroys them, and he chose to live. So the judge obviously did not fall for it and even told Diddy, I do not feel like you've changed very much, and he ended up giving him 50 months in a federal prison. So a lot of people felt like Diddy got off easy. However, Diddy said, I'm not letting this go. His team did not waste any time, and they ended up filing an appeal, challenging the conviction and the sentence. And instead of letting it drag out for months like most cases do, a judge said, okay, we'll move forward and we'll move this along faster. That doesn't mean Diddy's winning this case. It just means that the appeal will be reviewed sooner rather than later. Normally, it could take 6 months to a year to get on the court's calendar, but now Diddy's case will get priority. So the appeals judge basically told both sides, no delays, no excuses, get your paperwork in, and that means Diddy's lawyers have a short deadline to file their written arguments, and the government has a set time to respond. And once that's done, the appeals court can decide if they want to hear oral arguments or rule based on the filing. So with Diddy's team arguing that he deserves a new trial or a lighter sentence, Diddy is out here breaking prison rules, especially something like drinking or being caught with contraband. That paints him as someone who's not following orders or taking accountability. It doesn't directly cancel his appeal, but it hurts how he's perceived by the Bureau of Prisons, the prosecutors, and even the appellate judges reviewing his case. The appeal itself will still move forward. The court won't throw it out just because of his disciplinary issue, but what will happen is that the government can use his behavior against him to argue that he has not changed, he doesn't deserve leniency, he doesn't deserve early release or a sentence reduction. And if they did ever consider him for the RDAP program to shorten his time, that privilege could now be taken off the table. In short, Diddy's appeal will still go through the legal process, but this incident makes it a whole lot harder for his lawyers to convince anyone that he's learned his lesson or is being unfairly treated. Judges notice everything, and breaking the rules in custody does not help your case at all, especially when the world is already watching. So photographs showed Diddy appearing comfortable in the Fort Dix prison yard last week, suggesting he had adjusted to life behind bars. He appeared to be the life of the party in those images, laughing and smiling while conversing with his fellow inmates. The casual social scenes captured in those photos presented Diddy as someone adapting well to his new circumstances, but the alcohol incident reveals a more complicated picture of his adjustment to prison life and the temptations that exist even in controlled environments. So a lot of you may be asking, why didn't the prison do anything to Diddy? Well, here's the tea. In the federal prison systems, not every infraction becomes public, and not everyone is punished right away. When someone like Diddy is involved, the Bureau of Prison moves very carefully. He's high profile, and any disciplinary action can make national headlines, just like TMZ finding out about it today. So instead of rushing to throw him in the SHU, which is the Special Housing Unit, aka solitary confinement, they usually investigate quietly first. So that means the staff might have confirmed that he drank, but they're still deciding how to handle it internally, whether to issue a minor sanction or sweep it under administrative review. Sometimes if a person cooperates or shows remorse, or the incident doesn't involve violence or contraband smuggling, they'll handle it in-house, like take away commissary, limiting his visits, or giving a warning instead of filing formal discipline. And let's be real, celebrity inmates don't always get treated the same as everyone else. The Bureau of Prison tries to avoid chaos, and Diddy's presence already brings extra attention, so it's possible they're keeping things quiet to maintain order or waiting until his appeal moves further along before doing anything official. Either way, Diddy has made this situation very hard for his team to fight, and we'll have to see exactly what tactics they take to move forward. What I need to do in the meantime is hear from you. What do you think about everything currently going on in the world of Diddy? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.